Dad Reacts.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another Dad Reacts video. Today, in fact, what's becoming almost daily Dad Reacts video.
Yeah.
How you doing, mate?
All good. All good. It's nice to react to stuff that isn't Russian though, isn't it? That's the thing.
I mean, even though it is probably just as bad.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
At least we haven't been poisoned or suspected of being poisoned.
Well, yeah, it's quite refreshing to see the news cycle slightly changing, and there are other things coming back to the surface. Obviously, there is still a terrible thing going on in Russia and Ukraine, but there are other things
in the world.
We can't just talk about that every day. So
no, it'd get a bit repetitive and boring, wouldn't it?
If you haven't already guessed, this video is sponsored by Manscaped. So if you would like to freshen up your balls for yourself or your missus, use our code NCAD20. Oh, and I suppose we should also point out this is a brand new channel.
Yes.
We've split up the podcast and the reaction videos. So nobody cares about Dad Reacts. Brand new channel. Please, if you are watching, do hit the like and sub.
Hit that big red subscribe.
And you'll see plenty more content from us talking shit about shit daily. Yeah.
Pretty much what everybody wants, really, isn't it? Just two guys talking shit about shit.
Talking shit about shit. That's the
catchphrase.
What have I got for you today, Martin? Well, today I'm wearing the appropriate t-shirt for this because I've got my
Weekend Offender.
So today, I mean, we're talking about double standards.
Massive double standards.
It is. So today, I'm reading about a story titled "Teacher Sex." So, teaching assistant 21 who had sex with a 15-year-old schoolboy twice after telling him age is just a number is spared jail.
What a joke.
I can't help but feel like as soon as I read that, I thought Adam Johnson.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's got to be probably one of the biggest high-profile cases of somebody sleeping with somebody underage.
Yeah.
Footballer, he knew how old she was. He acted inappropriately and wrong. Yeah. Was convicted.
Yeah. So the teaching assistant who told the schoolboy age is just a number sent flirty messages to the teenager telling him you're fit before taking her home to her place in Wales. She picked up the 15-year-old pupil in her car before the pair had sex at her home. She asked to meet up again, taking him upstairs for a second encounter before she pressured the teenager for a more intense relationship. Now, the prosecutor told her that the prosecutor said that he watched TV before the defendant took him up to the bedroom and described the first time as a little bit awkward.
As it always is.
As it always is for a child.
For a young kid.
Now, rumours started to circulate in the school and amongst the staff that something was going on. The head of the school did question the defendant directly, but she obviously denied.
Right, yeah, which is standard.
Yeah. Somehow social services were alerted of the situation and then the police were informed. She was given a 12-month suspended sentence in order to complete 150 hours of unpaid work. Now, the judge said that she was in a position of power and therefore shouldn't have used that position of power to have sex with a child.
No, yeah.
Again, I can't help but go back to the Adam Johnson. And listen, I think Adam Johnson should have gone to jail, right? So I'm not defending.
Yeah, there is no defence for Adam Johnson.
No, I'm not defending him. I'm actually saying that she should have served the same.
Yeah,
Adam Johnson.
Absolutely. But why did she go off with it? What's the reason?
Adam Johnson was a man who had a position of privilege. He met a young fan, and he didn't have sex with the fan. He just had sexual contact. He had sexual contact with the fan, who was at the time 15. Now, the court said to him at that period, "You're in a position of privilege. Therefore, you're in the wrong, and you should be given a 5-year jail sentence. Now, I agree that that's the case, but then what's the difference in this scenario?
There isn't.
In fact, I would argue that it's actually slightly worse, because he's in a position of privilege as a celebrity. She's in a position of privilege as a teacher.
And power as a teacher, as a role model.
Ooh.
Yeah. You send your children.
It's worse.
Yeah. You send your children to school for them to be educated in a safe environment that nothing bad is going to happen.
Yeah.
And she's used her position there to court this young guy and hit him up, and she's got away with it.
Defending Williams, Gemma Gordon said that she had a new job in construction and had been getting help for her mental health.
Yeah, and she's also in a new relationship, which has helped her.
I wonder what mental health problem that is that makes you shag underage children.
Yeah, because I don't understand. Like, I'm telling you now, like, she's a relatively attractive young lady. I'm a 15-year-old lad. I'm at school.
Are you identified as a 15-year-old lad, or are you actually a 15-year-old?
I'm going to identify for this moment. I'm going to identify, and as an attractive teaching assistant, and I get away with I bang her. I'm telling my mates that ain't staying a secret. So as a 21-year-old teaching assistant, you must realise that you're going to get in shit.
There was a smoking hot teacher at my school called Mrs. 12 Trees. Oh, she was amazing. And I tell you, if I'd have climbed that drain pipe, I'd have told the world.
This is it. And Mrs. 12 Trees, if you're watching, hi. But you wouldn't be kept. You'd be the lad. You'd be going around like, yeah, partner. And like, it'd be interesting to know how old he is. Like, when is he 16?
I think this is all fairly recent.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know when he turns 16, because obviously then it's legal, but then it becomes immoral.
Yeah.
Because as a teacher, you should not engage in relationships.
I don't know this, and people can call me wrong, but I'm sure I had this conversation with Andy. I think as a teacher, they have to be 18. They can't be in your teaching range. I'm sure that's right. I might be wrong. I might be chatting shit, but I'll double check with Andy. Actually,
it's something I've never personally.
Andy, when can you have sex with your pupils?
yeah. When are we getting you on the podcast to talk about having sex? But yeah, man. Like,
so the judge told her that she had groomed her victim, and that sending messages on school grounds was aggravating. It was an aggravating feature. You knew what you were doing. You were working up to engaging in a sexual relationship with him.
She actually sought him out.
I'm amazed.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not going to play devil's advocate, but so should she have gone to? So again, I'm bringing back to the Adam Johnson case. That's the highest profile one that I can think of, right?
Yeah.
But there's been plenty others, there's plenty others. But let's just go with Adam for now. Good on Adam. Adam, if you're watching, hit me up. So come on the podcast if you want.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
So should she go to prison for what she did?
Yes.
And should Adam Johnson go to prison for what she did? Or should these sentences, so suspended sentence, slap on the wrist, never done anything wrong in the past, first offender, what is it? So which one's right, which one's wrong in your opinion?
Well, do you know what? It's a tough.
And sorry, and I know they're not the same, because in my opinion, Adams was less worse than this one.
Well, yeah,
but they're treating.
He didn't have full intercourse.
No.
He, if we're going on scales, he's a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
She's gone full intercourse, wants a relationship.
Yeah.
It's a difficult one, because, like, the fact is, it's tough it's a tough subject, because at the end of the day, you've got a cut-off point at 16. Okay, once you hit 16, well, there isn't anything wrong with
Is that the right age? Do you think? I know you're talking as a lady dad here, whereas I'm.
Well, my children know that they're not allowed to date until they're 41, or I'm dead.
I guess what I'm getting at is, in some countries, Mexico as an example, the sex age is 12.
Too young.
So is 16 right? In America, it's 18.
Yeah.
So, like, where do you actually think the line is? Is it the same for everyone?
Personally, I think 18.
18.
In my opinion, 18, because we're putting boys and girls into the same age bracket at 16, but not everybody matures the same.
That's my point.
And that's there are people that are late to the puberty party, and there's people that are early. It's such a, and personally, get out of the just hitting puberty and the sexually mature. Not all 16-year-olds are sexually mature mentally to understand. And look at how many young child-bearing parents we have nowadays. Because people aren't sexually mature and sensible enough to understand.
Okay, so I guess if I understand what you're saying, are you saying that because everybody isn't the same, we should probably up the limit to the point where at 18 everyone is probably sexually mature, whereas at 16 the majority might be, but
there's still a large number that won't be.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's my opinion.
Do you know, back in the day it used to be 8. Yeah, back in the day, it used to be 8 years old. I'm not talking like the 70s, a long time ago. But yeah, 8 years old.
That's like, I have an 8-year-old daughter. She's 9 next month. Like, no, that's ridiculous.
Oh, so I was just reading here. So yeah, up until. So the first age of consent in England in 1275. Do you have a guess how old?
How old?
12. And then 600 years later, they went, oh, no, that's too young. We'll make it 13. And then in 1885, it was raised to 16. And then 1917, they tried to make it to 17, but it was voted against.
Really?
Yeah. Although in Northern Ireland, it's 17.
Yeah, it's just... There was... I can't remember where I read an article about... I think it was in America.
Oh, that's weird. Sorry, just sorry to cut you off. I'm still fascinated by this age of consent. So obviously, the UK started 12, 13, 16. That's for heterosexual people. For homosexual people, the age of consent was set at 21, and then dropped to 18, and then 16.
So that's dropped down to 16 now, has it?
But isn't it funny how straight people it went low, high, gay people it went high, low.
Yeah, it's
weird. Anyway, back to the pervert teacher.
Yeah, don't know how. I really don't know how.
Yeah. So what? I don't know if you answered the question. Do you think she should be going to jail? Shouldn't be going to jail? Or should all these cases be jail or no jail?
Definitely. In an ideal world, all to jail. They've committed a crime. They've broke the law, and it's not. It's severe crime because we don't know how that's going to affect that 15-year-old lad.
Yeah.
You know. So it's.
What do you think would have happened if it was a male teacher having sex with a
absolute fucking uproar. Absolute
15-year-old girl.
That male teacher would have been hounded. He would have been made it'd be you don't even need to look at it.
Google it now. There you go. See what happens.
A few moments later.
Derbyshire teacher jailed having sex with teenage pupil. A long-serving teacher at a Derbyshire school has been sentenced for having a sexual relationship with a pupil. Mark, we'll just call him Mark. No, actually, no, we'll say his name. Stuff it. The guy's done the dirty. Mark Fiddler, what a name, was removed from his post last year, wept in the dock as he was jailed. So he was having intercourse with the teenager.
15. Does it say how old the teenager was?
Can't head of music for years in a position of responsibility.
I mean, if it's 13, it's obviously worse.
You were in a position of responsibility and knew what the rules were about sexual contact with pupils. Your teacher's ethos must have made you aware of that.
Does it say how old though?
No.
Yeah, because that's the thing. So if it's 13, that's slightly different to 15, isn't it?
Yeah.
But again, if it's comparable, then it's 15. Again, another example of
double standards.
Yeah.
It's it's hard to understand. Teacher jailed for sex with pupil. The Salford Stallion.
Your search history is going to be great.
I know. Police will turn up, be like, so, Mr. Richards, teacher jailed for sex with pupils. So here's another one. This is from 2011. 29. He slept with 3 of his high school pupils.
Unbelievable.
But other people, it's double standards. But this is what I was saying, like our criminal system or whatever, it's a mess.
Yeah.
There's so many double standards, like, drug dealers getting more time than rapists.
Mate, that's a whole new podcast. That
yes.
But yeah, let's end it with this one. So
basically, if you're a teacher, don't fuck your kids.
Don't do that. Just don't do that.
Simple.
Well, even if you're not a teacher.
Actually, just don't fuck kids. Fuck anybody.
Yeah.
Stop. Make the world a better place.
I mean, it's like I remember. This is going off tangent here, but I remember when I got with Carly when she was 19 and I was 21, and even I was a bit young for me.
Just if you're attracted to children, don't act on it.
No.
Simple. End of story.
End of podcast.
End of podcast.
Peace.
Dirty nonsense.
You dirty bastard.